This video is brought to you by Alaska Fast Cash, Paxson Design, and Corrine Graves Photography. Today, we're coming to you from Senate District A, which covers a sprawling center of Fairbanks. Currently, the district is represented by Senator Pete Kelly, who is currently the Senate President. Pete has been serving in the legislature on and off for the last 20 years. He and his wife have been in Fairbanks a long time.
Well, Perry and I are both born and raised here in Fairbanks. We're both children of flat-rate mechanics. And she went to public schools, I went to the Monroe Catholic School here.
But longtime roots doesn't distinguish Pete from his challenger, Representative Scott Kawasaki.
I grew up just on the other side of the railroad tracks right here. It's just, it's a great place to live, it's a great place to work, it's a great place to raise a family and retire. I want to make sure that we have that kind of thing in the future.
Scott has represented Fairbanks in the House since 2008. Both candidates have racked up war chests, big endorsements, and major support from both parties. For anyone who isn't entrenched in politics, just know, this is the race that everyone is watching.
It is the one seat that can change the balance of the Senate.
I think it's important. You might have a coalition that would form up if I were not to win.
The stakes for this race are high, and the candidates are on message and determined. But we were determined to show you who they really are. Talking with you earlier, I didn't realize you have a motorcycle business.
Oh yeah.
And you ride motorcycles.
Yeah.
I was very surprised to learn that Pete Kelly is a big motorcycle fan.
So I love motorcycles, and it's a real pleasure to be able to not only have a tourism business that's related to that, but I get to ride a lot of different bikes that I never would have had the opportunity.
One thing that Pete Kelly is not a fan of is an income tax.
I had said, and I actually read in an article the other day, I forgot that I said it, that an income tax was a permanent problem or a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
In Pete's spare time, he enjoys playing music and using it to try and solve other problems around the state.
And then last year we did one for Haven House, and likewise it was just a tremendous turnout and a tremendous amount of cash that we raised for that organization. I just love doing that in Juneau. It's fun to, I like to play music. I'm always looking for an excuse to get behind a set of drums.
Pete loves hitting drums. Scott Kawasaki loves hitting the weights. We asked Scott to earn some of those calories back and meet us at Hoodoo Brewing, who didn't want to sponsor our video, but it doesn't matter because they have some great beer.
Sure, we like beer. Yes, we drank beer, we liked beer, still like beer. We drank beer, sometimes probably had too many beers.
All right, Representative Kawasaki, how about some beer flights here?
All right, let's do it.
Scott told us why he thinks Fairbanks is the best place in Alaska.
When you talk to people about visiting the state of Alaska, they talk about Anchorage and it's bustling and there's an economy there, and they talk about Juneau in the southeast and there's mountains, but they talk about Fairbanks and it's the people.
Scott is convinced that those same people in Fairbanks are ready for a change.
I think more than anything right now, folks are saying we want change. We don't want the division down in Juneau. We want people to go down, we want people to compromise, we want people to work out their differences.
One thing that brings people together is traveling. Scott was born in Japan, traveled a lot growing up, and still loves to travel to this day. So maybe after the election, maybe we can go take a trip somewhere, because I need some miles, buddy. I gotta get about 5,000 more before I get my thing.
I'd be happy to go with you. I just promise me one thing. You're not gonna bring your Speedos.
Well, depending where we go, I can't promise that. If Scott wins, he'll be the youngest member of the Senate, but that wouldn't be anything new to him.
And I got a real bad reputation when I first started in the legislature. I came to my first meeting, I wore a baseball cap and I had a backpack. Pam Varney, who was the Legislative Affairs Director at the time, looked at me. She looked at me up and down. She goes, "Staff is meeting upstairs." And then her deputy had to say, "That's the new guy. He looks young."
The voters of District A have a big choice on November 6th. A big thanks to all the folks in Fairbanks who made this video possible. Now we're headed back to the big city. This video is brought to you by Alaska Fast Cash, with locations in Anchorage, Wasilla, and Fairbanks. Paxson Design, creating some of Alaska's finest graphic and web design. and Corrine Graves Photography, Alaska's premier wedding photographer.